Okay, welcome in everybody. Hope everyone's well tonight. Um, thank you for the like. Hope you've all had a good day. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Okay. 3 likes already. Huh. Yeah, oh, what the hell's going on, guys? I don't know. It's been a bit rubbish, to be honest. Horrible weather today, but I did get a good workout done, so that's good. But yeah, I got caught up in some horrible rain today. Oh well. What have you been up to today? Been up to much? Hi Jerry, how you doing? Welcome in. How have you been? So yeah, I'm gonna get into that later, but I'm just welcoming in people at the moment, so I don't know, it's just anyway, hello Glide Media, hello Callum. Women, what's my channel based on? I do what I want really. I do a lot of fitness stuff on here sometimes, but sometimes I come live and just chat. So it depends what I feel like. Hello Ava, how's it going everybody? I hope you're all well. So yeah, just I don't know what the hell. I just yeah, you're just left wondering, what are they trying to do. It's not the trolls, it's this female, and it's like it's just been messing with my head. Okay, like so I'm not into like God, to be honest, but hello Emily, welcome in. So it's just I don't know, hit the like button everybody. So it's like, hello loot. If this person don't want to be with me or whatever, why don't they just go away? Like, why don't you just like leave the internet or something and just like sort your life out then? I'm not even wound up. I'm just kind of like, just feeling drained. I don't know. I mean, whatever, how Callum. Just feeling kind of yeah. I don't know. I'm just like fed up of it all. What's that? What time do you have there? It's just gone 8 p.m. right now here in the UK. I mean, like, what I'm saying is, if she says that she's moved on, but yet she's still hanging around, which is just kind of fucking my head up. Okay, Richard. Just kind of like, you're just left wondering, and you're left, and it's just strange and just like, but it's like, I can't, but it's like, I mean, it's one of those things though, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really have. I don't even know what to say. anymore. I don't even know what to. Um, nah. What? Yeah, no, like, yeah, just, okay, thank you, Loot. Yeah, it's very strange. It's like you guys don't even know what half the stuff, you don't know anything that's going on, really. I'm just like, so there's a lot of weird things been going on and things that just don't add up. And it just really kind of like confuses me and like it just really kind of it just leaves me just like overthinking things, leaving me wondering like it's like, if she really just wanted to like straight up just move on, then okay, just delete your account and then just sort your life out, sort your relationship with this guy out, you know? Just go and sort that out then. Because it wasn't long ago that she actually was still talking to my friend, well, one of my friends, Haley, and she was like just still wanting to talk with her, even though like it was just so weird and just like she just needs to like, you know, either just she just needs to stop messing around because otherwise I don't know what. Like, I mean, I have threatened to like tell the guy. I've threatened to like expose everything, and I never did that. But it's just probably trying to keep an eye on you. Yeah, well, that's what they do. It's just, but if you really want to move on, then you would just, you know, then you would just completely just disappear and just be gone. You know, if you're just going to be all like, oh well, yeah, I'm trying to sort things out with him, but yet you've been with this guy for so long, and yet there's not even a fucking engagement or anything. What a fucking joke, you know. She said the reason why that she was doing what she did was because they were going through a rough patch. Well, what exactly do you mean? Like, 'cause it sounds like there's been some rough patch going on for quite a while, and there's no evidence that this so-called rough patch is actually improved because there's a lot that just doesn't add up. Like I said, there's still no sign of any marriage happening anytime soon, which is weird considering how long she's supposedly been with this guy for. And it doesn't seem like there's any real love between these people. Like it just seems as though she's with him for comfort, I guess. You know? Yeah, it sounds like the whole relationship is fake. So, but why is she staying with him? This is what was, in my head, like, what does she even see in this guy? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, is it just because it's comfort, it's security? This is the thing, right? A lot of them will just stay with someone just because of the security of it, not because they actually love the person, you know? That's pretty sad, I think, but because then oftentimes they're just going to end up doing stuff behind their back, and then Yeah. But what I'd be bothered with is that what if she ended up doing it to somebody else? You know? What if someone else got caught up in it? And what if it really messed them up, you know? Because some people could get really messed up with this kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know what she's playing at. Is she just trying to wind me up? Trying to play games and just get in my head? Is that what you're trying to do if you're watching? Like, she's just been acting kind of weird where she's kind of just ghosting now and like, okay, Jesse, like just, you know, it just doesn't seem like she'll actually be honest and actually tell me what the fuck is going on. Because then I'm just wondering, why is it you're staying with this guy? What is it? I mean, I've actually heard something that apparently this guy is something like it's she met him through a family friend or something like that. So is it that she feels like she's obligated to stay with him or something? I don't know. That's another theory that I had on it that she just feels obligated to stay with him, like she's because it doesn't make sense. Well, that is possible, yeah, that she's just keeping an eye to so I don't tell him. I mean, yeah, but guys think about that, but yeah. But basically, yeah, just it doesn't sound like yeah, well, she isn't keeping an eye on me, and I feel like telling him, yeah, I know, because it's just getting in and just like it's starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, maybe this guy needs to be told what's going on because the fact that she's okay, she had a chance to just like actually just kind of sort things out with this guy, whatever, or just leave the guy, you know? It's like it's either one or two. You either sort things out, and if that isn't going to happen, then you've got to leave him. You can't just be in that situation. It just isn't right, is it? It's not right for either of you. You know, if you're not happy, then then you can't really be just doing things in secret. So yeah, I mean that is possible as well, but it's like if she really cared that much, she would actually do the right thing then, wouldn't she? She wouldn't if she really cares that why would she like have me like, confused and just like left wondering what's going on, you know? If she's watching her videos and her account will probably get deleted tonight, giving you clarity she watched this. Yeah, that would be pretty obvious that she's watched it then, right? If she then just um coincidentally deletes her account and then she'd probably come up with some excuse or whatever and say, oh no, it was just I just needed a break or something. uh yeah, anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, guys. It's just there's just so many unanswered questions is the problem, and um, yeah, 'cause it's like she knows that I wouldn't be happy with if she's just gonna like still be on social media and stuff, and and that she's just gonna still be kind of around. Then I can't move on, can I? I don't know. Is this some mind games or some shit? I don't know. It's just kind of strange to me. Like there's just a lot of confusion and just just all this stuff of like, I mean, it's like she's admitted to me and before that she had feelings for me. I mean, I can't see how you would just lose that so quickly. Like, it doesn't add up. Like, I don't know. It just feels like something's keeping her with this guy, but she won't say. I don't know if she's being totally honest about it all because she has lied about things in the past. So it's hard to get her to admit to things and like get her to be honest sometimes because it's like it'd be uncomfortable. But maybe she's, like I said, it could be that, if it's because of a family friend that she met him, then she might feel like she has to stay with him, otherwise that could cause tensions or whatever. I don't know. I'm just coming up with trying to come up with some theories as to why is it that she's staying with him, even though they're not in love. Like, it doesn't add up to me. Because I'm pretty sure that she wouldn't just want to be with someone that, that she's not into, like, forever. I mean, is that what she's just going to do until she dies? That she's just going to stay with this guy that she probably thinks is a loser? Because if she really thought anything of him, then she wouldn't really be doing all this. She obviously sees something in me that she doesn't see in him. And people might say that that's arrogant or whatever, but there's obviously a reason why she's been doing it, trying to talk to me, and she was like being flirty with me and stuff like that, and so it just really confuses me, and just I've said some really nasty things to her before, but for a while it didn't even actually, like she's like forgave it and stuff, but it got to a point, I think it was when I threatened to tell him, that was the point where she then was all kind of like, oh, I'm scared of him and all this kind of stuff. That could have just been an excuse. I don't know. So we've been talking about this of like, is that just some excuse? Is she just like, is she really scared of me, or is it just because she's scared of, the of her world falling apart? That was ages ago, and she's clearly still coming back again. Yeah, and it just really makes me confused and what the fuck, I mean, I'm just gonna check, see if her account's still there, because then, yeah, the account's still there, so maybe she's not seen it yet. Maybe she's doing something else, who knows, but yeah, she's still there, so anyway. Okay, thank you. Ali, how you doing, Ali? Hope you're well. Good evening to you. Hit the like button, everybody. Hello, Manam. How you doing? Welcome in. It's just a situation, and it's just really confusing, and I'm just at a point where it's like, I'm not even going to freak out or anything. To be honest, I've just been working out really hard today, and I wouldn't even be in the mood to be getting angry or anything like that, because I'm kind of just chill. That's one of the things. If I do a really hard workout, then I tend to be quiet and you just kind of relax and just don't really, I don't have I'm not in the mood to just like go crazy or anything like that. So it's really been helping me just to kind of stay calm. I just take out any frustrations on the weights and stuff and exercise, and I can just spend the rest of the day being more chill, basically. So yeah, I went pretty hard today at the gym. I was like, if you saw, I did a short and did some pull ups and stuff. Yeah, feeling pretty good. So, but it's just yeah. I'm like I said, I'm at a point where it's like you know what, whatever, you know. Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to work on pull up strength and stuff, and trying to just get better with that really, because yeah, so it was one thing I was struggling with for a while, but we're getting there. But like I said, I'm just trying to just stay kind of stay calm and just put my energy into things that actually. All right, thank you, together, Lewis. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, the push-ups yesterday, that was pretty intense. Yeah, I slept so much last night on the workout. It was, yeah. I ended up doing a bit of another workout after that yesterday. I went out and just went on the bar and just kind of doing some of the bicep curls and some stuff. So it was, I'm fucking crazy with this stuff now. I'm like, it almost feels like I'm on steroids. The amount of I can like push myself harder than most people can. Like I can recover from it all and just like sort of really just keep like going. I don't know how I'm able to do it all, but I think one of the things that's been helping me is the meditation stuff. It's been helping me to kind of get more into that parasympathetic mode. Because a lot of times people will, what will happen is they do their workout and then they're stressing themselves out after that. They're constantly in that kind of fight or flight mode. And that's why they're struggling to make any progress really. And everything's all kind of, it's all tension in their bodies and stuff. And it's, even just doing a few minutes a day of like yoga nidra, that kind of stuff, that can really sort of make a difference, I believe, just getting you more into that parasympathetic mode. So you've got the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is like the fight or flight, and then you've got the parasympathetic, that's the rest and digest and recovery mode. So curious to know how your wide grip pull-ups. So getting on now, getting there. It's wide grip or harder, I find. But yeah, I tend to find that the easiest is probably around kind of shoulder width, really. That's where I find that it's probably, yeah, just the most efficient. The same with like push-ups as well. I find that round shoulder width's probably like, kind of roughly the most kind of efficient, really. But oh yeah, Richard, where's Haley tonight? Is she coming in at any point? I saw her there this morning, but I just kind of, yeah, I was at a bit of a live stream this morning because I was just walking around. Yeah, but yeah, just but yeah, sometimes it's just like you're wondering what's going on. You're wondering, you know, what is it? Like I mean, yeah, it just leaves you like with questions, leaves you without any kind of clarity. And that's something that I struggle with. If I don't have clarity, then I have all kinds of thoughts going through my mind. And, people need to understand that they can't just leave someone just like wondering, you know. And the thing is that, and they can't fool me either. They can't think, they can't just like convince me that, some of the things that they're saying is actually true because the evidence speaks for itself. You just, oh, it's a rough patch. Well, there's a lot of things that suggest that it's more than just a rough patch. I mean, it just all seems a bit weird. So it's not fooling me. Like it just something ain't right. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? You're left wondering like what is going on. But like I think the likely explanation, like I said, is that she probably feels like she has to stay with this guy because of family, maybe, I don't know. But no one's forcing you to stay with anybody, so hello Haley, speak of the devil. Alright, so how you doing? Like, you're not forced to stay with anybody. She's not married. She's not even engaged to be married. So what is keeping her with him? Either it's just the stability or whatever, or is it that she feels like she has to stay with this guy? Because if it's a family friend, then could that be like awkward or something? And hi, Patriot. Okay. What are you on about the walk? I don't say anything about the walk. Yeah, that walk stuff is just kind of ridiculous to me. When people start kind of going on about all these different genders and stuff, I just find it all a bit, just gets ridiculous. I don't know, I just think it's all a bit cuckoo or something. I mean, and then if you disagree with them, then you're a bigot, But anyway, I digress. But yeah, thank you for the 10 likes. Everybody hit that like button. Think I can see what we are talking about here, yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. Like I said, I did a gym session today, but yeah, I got caught up in some horrible weather today. It was horrible. It was rainy, windy, just horrible, really, but could have been worse, though. Oh, hi, Tony. Yeah, you keep coming and telling us about, you rescue cats. Yeah. Cool. Hi, Reluctant Gamer. Good to see you. I thought I would have seen you in that live stream, but I haven't seen you yet. The one that you told me to go to, I haven't seen you there yet. I didn't see you. I mean, I actually didn't go to it today, but I went the other day and you weren't there. So, but yeah, he gets quite a few viewers, doesn't he? So how did you find out about him? Was that through Pulsing Iron then or something? Yeah, I've been worked today since 7:30. Oh, blimey, that's yeah, quite long. Hi, Mercedes, how you doing? I've been chocolate at work. Oh, really? Oh, thank you, Patriot. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, nice one. That's very nice. I knew him at the start. Oh, really? Oh, wow. You seem to know a lot about like the fitness people to say you're not into fitness. Yeah. Are you really still crying about that? Okay, can you just go away then? Just, if you have nothing good to say, then don't say anything. I don't think it's, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of these people, I love supporting fitness and who's fighting physical and mental health. I like helping people. That's good then, yeah. Yeah, it's good to support people, isn't it, How California dreaming. California dream. Yeah, California dreaming. Mamas and papas. Oh yeah, Daisy's channel, yeah. Saw you there, yeah. People that stream are good people like yourself and others. Some, yeah. Yeah, some like bad apples out there, isn't there, And I'm not gonna keep naming any names anymore, I'm done with that. No, it's not a breakup. No, it's just as someone who's just like, it just really confuses me, like, because when someone says something, but then their actions say something else, and then you're like, what's going on here? If people could just be like straight up and honest, then I wouldn't need to be like overthinking. I mean, it's like, yeah, I tend to overthink a lot, but it's like people don't help sometimes when, people don't help when, me when I'm like, when they're just being all kind of secretive and things like that. If people could just be straight up, then it's like, then I know where I stand, and then I don't need to overthink. So, yeah. So it's like people want to try and like diagnose people for it's like, yeah, certain people are more prone to it, but it's like, but when you're left wondering and stuff, you know, when you're left wondering, like, kind of, like, what is going on there. But you just kind of like, it can take over your mind sometimes. But I try to distract myself with things, and I just watch some random video sometimes, just kind of, um, like I said, I'm just not gonna name any names anymore. I just want to try and keep it positive, because it's like I don't want to stoop down to that level anymore. Yeah, it's I just don't need to stoop down to that, because then I start to kind of, I can just be, it's like I don't need to stoop down to like start, because then I can just become quite toxic myself. When I start letting people get in my head. I don't want to be at that level. I want to try and stay positive, and I want to try and be focus on my goals and things like that. I went busking yesterday, and I had a decent time with it, and if I just kind of focus on things like that, then I'm not going to be letting all these negative, toxic people get to me. I just don't need any of that energy in my life. And yeah, I just kind of had a bit of a realization. It's like, oh shit, I just need to kind of, yeah, just stay in my own lane, and just kind of not let any kind of those people. Yeah, I did, Ali. Yeah. Um. Yeah, yeah. Um. I don't know what I was kicking off for, but yeah, I've had times where I've really kind of lost the plot. I tried to do a super chat, but my phone keeps freezing when it asks me to agree to purchase. Oh no, that's not good. Have you tried becoming a member as well? You can do that as well if you want to. I might start doing shout out videos for members. I was thinking, I'm not too sure yet when I'm going to do that, but I would like to maybe do something to. We all lost the plot now and then, yeah. But it's like, it was happening a lot, and other things that were kind of, oftentimes it's stuff that's not in my control. And have you got members? Yeah, I've got 2 members. I've got, like, what is it? How much for a shout out video? Well, I was saying that, like, if people become members, then I could do that. So I could shout out all the members in a video. But we'll see. Like, I'm just thinking of an idea to, like, show gratitude for members. But yeah, it's just, those things were getting to me, and I just had to kind of take a step back and just be like, okay, I can't be like doing all this. I can't be losing my shit. You know, I was almost gonna just like freak out tonight, but I was just like, you know, I just can't even be bothered. I'm just like, you know, it's not even worth it. It's not worth just lose. It's not worth, you know, losing my shit over shit like this, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, it isn't gonna help me, is it? To all right, okay, probably then. Won't let me subscribe either. I'll try on my tablet. Okay, that's a bit odd. Hit that like button, everybody. So I don't know. Yeah, but you know, at least like we got you guys here, so yeah. Just I don't know. But you know, there's no point in dwelling over things like that you can't control, is there? You know. I'm just gonna keep trying to improve my life and just, you know, yeah, because then it's like, you know, whatever happens, you know, I'm just gonna be like living a great life, you know. My dad said how much is the monthly subscription. There's different tiers of it. So you've got like, yeah, I think there's three tiers, 99p, I think 199 and 299 if I remember. But you'll have to check that. I'll have to check with the on Pulse. Hang on, not on Pulse. I mean memberships. So let me just see. So yeah, so basically. Oh, thank you, Emily. Oh, there you go. How did you manage to do that then? All right. Well, we had 2 super chats there. Cool. Thank you, Emily. Anyway, yeah. So what's this? That's what I'm trying to do. Try and improve my life day by day. I remember you were saying that you're a Uber driver or something. So how's that been going? You're still doing that then? I'm just gonna stand up for a second because yeah, I'll just have a bit of a walk around, I think. But yeah, my body's just been completely like, yeah, destroyed with the workouts and stuff. And yeah, I don't know how I managed to get through it all. It's just been really intense. All the stuff that I've been doing has just been quite, you know, sort of, didn't know this was a thing, well, right. Yeah, I done £1,200 this week so far. Still got tomorrow and Sunday to work. Oh yeah, cool. So that means you could be up to about, you know, almost like £2,000 or something. That's pretty cool then, isn't it? Yeah. See, bowling. Yeah. That's very yeah, it's like some people are only on like £400 or £500 a week, aren't they? So £1,700 I'll do. Yeah, that would be good. So that's like probably, if you could do that for a whole month, that's like what? Let me think. £6,800 a month. Well, that's per 4 weeks. It'd be like 7,000. Probably about, yeah, 7,000 a month. If we're going by calendar month, it'd be over £7,000 a month. So in like 1 year, you'll have made about 80 odd grand, nearly 90 grand, which is yeah, that's a lot of money, you know. It's but that's hard work pays off, doesn't it? You know. So do you get a lot of tips then? Is that how you make part of it then? Because some people say, you can get tips doing that stuff, and it's like you get these like waiters and whatever, and they get tips, but then at the same time, I don't think you should feel like you're forced to do it because you know, it's just like I don't know, like I don't think everybody should have to like pay a tip. It's like the food costs a certain amount. That's it. That's that's all you have to pay, right? If they are getting paid to be a waiter. They are. Even if it is only a small wage, but it's like they're getting paid to do that. So it's yeah. Some of them are like might only be on like part time, but then it's like, well, you got to find things to kind of make enough money, basically. So I get tips sometimes in my job too. Oh, really? Is that when people like say keep the change or something like that or whatever? But it's like I don't know. You shouldn't need to be like paying them necessarily. I think it also depends like on the service you're getting. If you're getting a really bad service, and then I would be like, well, no, I'm not paying you. Fuck off. Like, why would I pay you if you do like dog shit fucking service? You just like a miserable cunt who can't even do their job properly. Fuck off. You don't even deserve to get the fucking wage that you're getting, probably. you know um yeah, all same hourly, right? £12 an hour, that's like minimum wage, isn't it? But the thing is, right, it depends on where you live, I guess. But if you're on like £12 an hour, like 40 hours a week, let's say, that's like nearly £500 a week. Depends, I guess, on if you count like I don't know if they count dinner breaks, but like, it's over 400. It's probably about 400 odd a week or something. But it depends on where you live. But like, you can make that work. Most people, I think, if you live a more frugal, more savvy lifestyle where you just kind of you don't need to be like buying all the most expensive stuff, and you can save money, and you can if you're even on like just a 40-hour week. Oh, right. Oh, that's good then. Yeah. So like you're on like say you're on, let's say you're even on £400 a week. That's like £1,600 a month or whatever, £1,700 per calendar month. And that if you can, some people can live on about £1,000 a month. If you really try and just really just kind of be tight with your money and whatever, and so you could be saving like £700 a month. So you could be saving over £8,000 a year. So I was talking about this the other day. I think it was Emily was saying about especially if you can live, even if you were say on if you were say on like £1,700 a month or whatever, and you're like living up with parents, you might only have like outgoings of a few £100. Let's say you're on £700 a month outgoings, you can save £1,000 a month. So in a year you're saving £12,000. After 5 years you save £60,000. You that can be life changing. That can set you up like either you can use it to buy a business, or you can use it to buy your first house or something. It's something that can really get things in place for you. So if you're willing to stay with your parents a little bit longer and just really be smart with your money, Because a lot of people just end up blowing their money up in smoke. Like they don't really kind of it's like it's all this materialism, right? It's all this need for the latest gadgets, the new iPhone, the new this and that. But constantly buying new clothes, new jewelry, whatever, new this, that, the other. It's like, do you need to be doing all that? That stuff can come later, you know. You can hold on a bit, surely, you know, because your life's going to be a lot better in the long run if you're willing to just hold on a little bit instead of just blowing every bit of money you've got and then you've nothing to show for it. You just blow it on a bunch of mind-numbing crap, a bunch of subscriptions that, you know, just to numb your mind. And some people can, like, say, take on extra hours, let's say 60 hours a week if they want to. Do, say, like, you know, some extra stuff if they did, like, you know, like the delivery or Just Eat or was it the Uber Eats? I think there's Grubhub. Oh, that might be, I don't know if that's Grubhub is another one as well. I think. But yeah, but all these things, like, say you did 20 hours a week on that and you could be making, let's say you made £10 an hour on, let's say you did that and then you've got, say, another few quid an hour on tips. So you might be making, it depends on who you're working for, because let's say if you're working at, if you do ones that are like, you know, for the company itself, like a Chinese, and you can maybe be on like £15 an hour, and then you'll get tips, and you might even be making towards like £20 an hour. Oh, thank you, Emily. So you could be making up towards of like £20 an hour, working for like a, you know, for some like takeaway or something. I don't know, just on a night. 20 hours a week, which even 10 hours a week, right, after you work, you know, it's not hard work, really. It depends on what you do during the day, but if you had a job that was pretty simple, like, that wasn't too straining, obviously you want something that's, like, not too mentally taxing, I would say, if you're going to do it that way. Not have to be too strained out, but it depends on each person. Like, if you're doing a lot of, say, like, you know, if you're working in a friggin', you know, like a warehouse or something, then the last thing you're going to want to do is probably be, you know, kind of doing more work, I guess, you know. You're probably just going to want to chill out. So I guess it depends on each person's situation, but you know, because I've heard people who've been in warehouse work and they hate it, like, with a vengeance. You know, they really, really do not like it, because it's like they're literally just getting paid like bare minimum to, like, basically just bust their ass every day. I suppose it's a good workout, I guess. You know, just being like that manual work, but it's like you should be paid like a pretty good wage for that, though. But a lot of people are just being used as slaves, basically, you know? Just being used as, you know, cattle and whatever. It's just kind of disgusting, really, but you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I would never do that. Yeah, it's just not right, you know, but it's like if you're, I know, like, you might say, well, it's unskilled work and whatever, but I think in terms of, like, the actual, you know, I mean, I'm not really a big proponent on, like, the Marxist theory of, like, the labor theory of value, but I think that it should be valued more when people do hard work, hard grafting, should be paid more than someone just, like, dicking about at a fucking checkout or something at a shop, you know? It's just, you know, doing that versus busting your ass every day. I think that the person that's busting their ass should be paid a lot more, you know, in terms of, like, the actual demands of the job. Like, yeah, I'm not really a big proponent of, say, like, obviously if someone's got a lot of talent and a lot of merit, then yeah, that's something that should be paid more because of. But I think that I don't know what it is. Why is it that people would even accept such low paying with these jobs? I guess it's just because these jobs are, I guess that it's just people who need the job. They'll just take anything. I think that's the problem, is that we're in this society where people will take at the bottom of the barrel, kind of thing, really. They'll just accept bare minimum. They'll accept a terrible job with a terrible salary because they feel. This is why I was actually saying that maybe we should have some kind of UBI or something, because this is the theory, right, that if we had some kind of UBI, maybe then, like, the workers that actually have some kind of leverage to be able to negotiate better. Because right now it's like people wouldn't do that because they're afraid of losing their job. People are afraid to, in Romania, you couldn't earn much more in a warehouse here than they can in their country, right? Right. What are you saying? You mean as in that it's mostly a bunch of basically they're used taking on a lot of foreigners, you're saying? I think I remember me mate was on probation in a warehouse, and I don't think he really liked it there, but he got laid off, and a bunch of people got laid off, but it was just probation, so there was no guarantee that they were going to stay on. It was just I guess it was like a temporary contract thing where they could just get dismissed at any point, really. And they just, but yeah, basically it's just what happened is, you get all these, because some of these foreigners are going to have, you could say, well, they have a better work ethic or whatever, but it's just, I guess you could say, well, it's just because compared to what they have, then it's like, okay, well, it's like a lot better, but I don't know. It's a lot, yeah. That's why they'll take a lot of these jobs, because people here wouldn't most of the time want them. But I don't know if you know anyone that's had warehouse jobs or anything like that, but it just feels a bit like kind of almost like it's like trafficking kind of thing. It's a bit like slavery kind of thing. It's like exploitation, exploiting people from other countries because they know that they'll settle for lower wages, So do you think that maybe that's why a lot of people would keep voting, especially people with businesses and stuff would probably vote for this kind of stuff where they would keep bringing people in to exploit them, basically, because they know that they'll settle for less. Now, some of them actually come over here to then, to siphon money over. So they'll work for the economy and then they'll take money out of it to then support the family. So I guess it depends how much they're making, really. But the thing is that I suppose they wouldn't really need to take much money out of it to really make a difference, because over in places like Eastern Europe, the money actually goes a lot further. You can say, send a few £100 a month over, and that would be enough to feed probably a family, That's how much further it goes. over here you have no chance, you know? So that's the thing, right? I've actually like, well, I used to live in an area that was full of like ethnic minorities that were from like South Asia, and basically they would live in these like big houses, like they're like multi-generational households basically, and so they would have like 10 or so people sometimes in one single house. So the actual cost of it all would probably be like quite small, because let's say it even cost them say like £1,000 a month, assuming that they even have any rent to pay on it, if it's not already been bought or anything, or if it's, let's say it's a rental, it costs them £1,000 a month. 10 people live in there, then the rent gets split up, and that's like £100 per person. So that is, like, and then you've got all the electric bills split between 10 people. So you get my point that it's, a lot of things end up being quite cheap. So that's probably why a lot of them can like afford quite fancy things. And some people say they're doing drugs, and that is true in some cases, but just the fact that they don't smoke, usually they don't drink alcohol, and they live in quite big house. I mean, they live in these like with, like a lot of people, so they can probably live on quite. No, yeah, some of them will, spend a lot of money doing like takeaways and things like that, but they might just do that, sometimes, but they can still be, saving a lot of money. And it's, something that maybe people should look into, like how they're doing it. And okay, well, if we want to live that life, then maybe we need to come together more, maybe we need to start kind of living more like with the family unit and stuff, and maybe we should all be like living under one roof, because just for the fact that it just makes life so much easier and more affordable. I don't know. A lot of people just like the idea of escaping from their family, but by doing that, you end up making life so much more expensive. But it's just but like obviously a big thing is like smoking and alcohol. If you're smoking, let's say even 20 cigarettes a day, that can be. I don't even know how people can afford it. I think some people even do crime and stuff. Some people might be doing like dealing drugs and stuff, right? Because I'm like, how do people even afford to be having these kind of addictions, right? How do they afford to be even doing 20 cigarettes a day? Some people are doing 40, 60, even almost 100 cigarettes a day. How could you even afford that? Like, it's at a point where it's like, how much is it for a single packet now? So I remember back in the day it was about £4, but it's now like probably way, way more than that. And of course, some people do roll-ups as well, but that's going to be a lot cheaper. But that happens sometimes, but even then, some of these people are still spending a few pound a day on cigarettes. And then if they're drinking alcohol as well, then they're spending money on that as well. And drinking alcohol is very expensive. Like if you're like, even just say having even just a few at the weekend, especially people who go out clubbing, they can be blowing like 50, £100 at the weekend. And a lot of them are going to be going out and having takeaways and whatever. And yeah, £15, it's crazy, isn't it? But basically, like, you think, like, how do people even afford it? I think some of them are actually just like in debt, basically, a lot of them. Because I don't have any idea how some of these people even afford to still be like going out and partying and, you know, spending 100. Maybe it's just that they live for the weekend. That could be possible, where they save up every single penny so that then they can just have enough to go out at the weekend, you know. Yeah, that could be possible in some cases where, say, like I said, they're on the minimum wage, 17. I mean, maybe they're on a little bit more in some cases, but they might be on 2,000 a month. And then, you know, they might just about be able to afford it once, you know, all the necessary bills are paid for. But, you know, it's kind of a sad existence to, like, you know, to only just live for the weekend and just only have enough money just so they can just blow it all up in smoke, just drown in their sorrows. And yeah, I'm also being debt, I think. Yeah, they're being like the overdraft, in it, you know. They'll just, you know, they'll be in the minus. Their accounts will be negative. They call it a negative bank balance, you know. And then it just gets worse over time, because if you don't pay it back quick enough, then you start to get into interest that you're having to pay on it. So, you know, it's kind of like an infection. If you sort it out while it's still fresh, then, you know, it's going to be a lot easier to fix it, isn't it? But then you keep it going and you keep, you know, letting it go on and on, it's going to be a lot worse, isn't it? It's kind of like, you know, a house is got set on fire, and that, you know, it starts to get worse and worse until it's raging, and then it's almost impossible to put it out. It's like, you know, you get in debt, you keep on, you know, letting yourself be in debt, and you're not paying it back. You keep on adding to the debt, making it worse and worse, until you change up things, you change your lifestyle, and finally you can start getting in the right direction. But people have this short-term mindset. I understand, because everything seems so bleak, and you think, oh, fuck it, let's just throw caution to the wind and just, what, you only live once, all this stuff. Oh, well, you know, the economy's going to shit anyway. But there's this mentality that's just going to end up making things worse. I don't know. Now, some people reckon that this has been done deliberately, because they're going to try and cancel cash altogether. Because this is a theory that I have, that basically what they're going to do is they're going to end up wiping everybody's debt, but at the cost of the government's going to take control of the economy, you know? Because I think that things would have to get so bad to a point where people would be like, oh, well, we need a solution, and they'll just suck it up, because they just want they desperately want their lives to get better. But then that's when they have you, then, isn't it, you know? Yeah, they're probably on finance. Yeah, they don't bolt them with cash, no. You haven't bolt that, you know, like Tesla with cash, have they, you know? It's a joke, really, isn't it? It's all this fake wealth, isn't it? That's just, it's all an illusion, really. Anyway, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to end the live, and I'm going to go to the toilet and then come back. So, all right, I'll see you all in a sec.